Hi everybody, it's Paige. Today's video is on the prompting hierarchy that is used in speech therapy. So basically today I am sharing with you the answer to the question, what if I'm in an activity and my kid's not doing it right? So this particular video is directly geared towards my articulation students, but you can kind of piece together indirectly some ways that this can work for language too. And I'll try and help you out with that. But yeah, usually, if we were in regular times, I would say if you're practicing at home and it's just not working out, your student isn't saying their sound correctly, and you give them a basic reminder and it's still not happening, just to discontinue, let me know, or we'll work on more generalization stuff in the speech room and we can kind of collaborate. We can still collaborate, but we don't have the option of having a speech room right now. So I want to make sure that you guys are fit to move forward, in case the things that the students learned in the speech room hasn't generalized to the home, and what you can do. Okay, so we're going to share a screen. You all know I'm not great at this. All right, okay, cool, I practiced. So this is a reference card that I got from the wonderful The Speech Bubble. And so we're going to go through this. So what she didn't really include is the space right here. So I think she's assuming that if you're using prompting, that you're going to start with this one, because that's what we want. We want least invasive, most independent. So anyway, she's assuming that if you're using prompting at all, you're probably not going to be independent. So independent is where we want to start. So if you have a word for your student, I'm going to try and think of an example here. Okay, so if you're working on L's and your student says Y for L, so if you get a word like lemon, they might say Yemen. When you start with your practice, you want to let them be independent. So you have a picture of a lemon, or you have the word lemon written down, or you say lemon, and they go Yemen. Okay, that's when you know you need to go to the next step. And before we start getting into all the steps, I just want to let you know that, whatever you guys are doing, it's perfectly valid and it's perfectly great. If this is difficult and you need more help with this than just a video and you need more guidance, I'm here for you, and that is perfectly normal. I think one of the more heartbreaking things that I hear in my job is when parents feel like failures because their child needs speech therapy. And that is just couldn't be farther from the truth. Just because your child needs speech therapy does not mean that you were a bad model, or that you didn't talk to them enough, or that you somehow didn't unlock information that other parents just know. So I'm just here to tell you that if your child needs speech therapy, or if you need more guidance through navigating this prompting hierarchy than just one explanation, it does not mean that you're a bad parent at all. I would say that the fact that you are trying makes you an amazing parent. And furthermore, learning how to do all the tips and tricks that I have to get the right sound going or to navigate this hierarchy did require a master's, you guys. So it's not common knowledge. It's not common sense. It's very uncommon knowledge for people to be able to navigate speech and language therapy. So anyway, let's get into the hierarchy. I hope you guys feel good after that pep talk. Anyway, so the first one, the least invasive and the most independent of the prompts, is the visual. So an example of how I might use a visual prompt is really easy. Typically, I'll have my students, depending on what kind of session it is, say their word 5 times. So with our example of lemon, you might have Johnny say, okay, say lemon 5 times. He'll say lemon, 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 Yemen, and I'll do one of these, which I don't know how all the kids understand, but this, like, and the face, they're like, oh, okay, lemon. And sometimes it'll be Yemen, 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 nope, okay. So then we have to go a little bit deeper here. So sometimes, so verbal, I feel like there are levels in the verbal as well. So indirectly, we might be doing the finger thing and I'll say, nope. That can be a verbal prompt. The direct prompt might be, okay, so for Yemen, the difference between Y and L is that with Y, you're using the back of your tongue. And with L, you're using the tip, the front of your tongue. So you could say, hey, remember, use the front of your tongue, lemon. So that gives you a visual. Well, you shouldn't make your L like that. Bad speech therapist. Shouldn't make your L with your tongue sticking out, but lemon. Okay, lemon. Got it. Gestural. This is usually where I start. When kids are first starting speech therapy, I'll give them some instructions, and then I'll come up with some kind of gesture. And I'll explain why I use that gesture. So for L, it might be this one. Well, there. It's kind of mirrored. Oh, anyway. So I'll use this one because it looks like an L. And also I'm pointing up. So I want your tongue tip to go up. So I usually use, sorry, no fever. Okay, so I usually use gestural and modeling together. So I'll point it up and I might say lemon. Okay, cool, lemon. That usually works, gestural combined with modeling. So modeling would be showing them how to do it. So when our visual doesn't work and our verbal, remember to put your tongue up. Remember, L. You would kind of use a little bit of everything, in my opinion, and say lemon. And you would show them, or you might show them with your tongue up, lemon. Partial physical, I usually don't use this, to be quite honest, because I don't like touching people. So partial physical might be like, I have before gotten like Q-tips and touched where I want their tongue to go. So before you guys do that, I would really, really prefer that you let me know and I can kind of guide you. So for like L, I might take like a wet Q-tip or yeah, wet Q-tip and put it right behind the teeth and then put it on the tongue. And then what usually ends up happening is because you have that sense of touch on the two parts of your mouth that should be coming together, kids kind of like just naturally go. Even before you tell them to do anything, they'll just loop. So that could be a partial physical and then a full physical. I really don't know how that would work for articulation. Quite honestly, a full physical. Actually, I do. There are some ways of using tools to manipulate the articulators completely. It's not something I do. It's not something I've ever had to do. So for language, like a full physical would be hand over hand. So if you were working on prepositions or something, if you were working on prepositions, you would, like, if you had a car and a bridge, a little toy car and a bridge, and you say, put the car under the bridge, and all of these weren't working, you could literally take your students' hands and put the car under the bridge. So let's take that preposition example all the way through. So visual. Ooh, I can't. The activity that I usually have for prepositions is at the school. So dang. All right, so let's say you have a picture of what you want your child to do. So you would say, okay, put the car under the bridge. Independently, hopefully, awesome. They would just do it and they would do it correctly. What I usually do with my activity is on one side of the card, it has the command, put the car under the bridge. And then on the other side, it has a picture of what I want them to do. If you don't have that, you could restate it. Oh, no, that would be gestural, wouldn't it? Whatever. Okay, so you can have that. Verbal, you can kind of point at your picture and say, oh, I want it under the bridge, right? Putting emphasis on under. Gestural, I want the car under the bridge, not over the bridge, under the bridge, right? Modeling, you would take the car on the bridge and put the car under the bridge yourself and then try and have them do it. Partial physical, I guess guiding their hand toward the bridge with the car in their hand. And then of course the full physical again, actually taking their hands and doing it with them. So thank you guys for being patient and making it to the end of the video. That was a little difficult. So if you guys have any questions, any concerns, any ideas for me, if you guys find resources, I would love to hear about them. I've had a couple of suggestions so far that I'd like to share in another video. But yeah, come talk to me. Hope you guys are staying happy and safe and sane. Sorry, my neighbors are being real crazy. So I will see you guys in the next video.